Present day. Present time.
Okay, with the upcoming Game Freak latest release, I think it will be appropriate to actually talk about one of the most underrated Pokemon games in the franchise, and that's Pokemon Gale of Darkness XD. This is one of my all-time favorite. And yes, talking about Pokemon Z-A or what the fuck they want to call it. I'm a huge Pokemon fan, but when Scarlet and Violet came out, that's when I started drifting away from Pokemon. That was the only thing that was holding me back from actually still kind of like, getting into Nintendo. That was like the last track where I was like, yeah, I have no reason to be staying on Nintendo. But they have an upcoming game that's really exciting. And yes, I'm going with Totodile. I usually go with fire types, but why? Why Tapic? Why you pick Tapic as your starter? Of all the starters you could pick, Tapic is the one you went for? Holy shit. Anyway, yes, I'm going with Totodile. But getting back to this video, Gale of Darkness was a game released on the GameCube, and a lot of Pokemon fans haven't even played this game because it's such an underrated game. Um, I want to talk a little bit about the story and why you should probably check it out. Okay, first thing I want to say, the one thing I love about Pokemon Gale of Darkness is that Game Freak didn't, I mean, yeah, it's still a kids game, but Game Freak kind of started experimenting with the area of storytelling and they went a little bit darker. So the story of Pokemon Gale of Darkness basically tries about you end up landing a place called Oreo. No, not that Oreo. This Oreo. It's a desert. And you end up getting into this desert and you got nothing but a starter Pokemon, which is Eevee, which I'll be talking about that later. Why it's so great. Anyway, the story goes that there's a team Cipher is a team that actually likes stealing Pokemons away from people, and they want to actually corrupt the hearts of these Pokemon, but they want to make them dark and completely Ovidium because they don't really see Pokemons as friends or allies. They see them as tool, and they want to use them as this tool as world domination. They want to destroy everyone that opposes them and just take over the world. And the first successor to the full heart corruption was actually Shadow Lugia. Shadow Lugia got so corrupted that it actually ended up even changing color and unlocking its max potential to a Pokemon and its max capacity of the power that it could have through obedience. So, in other words, they strip out the free will. So the story in this game is like it's fucking massive. Like you have to go around collecting Pokemons, build friendship, do their darkness, and after you're on do their darkness, you got to put them like in this little chamber with other ones that you uncorrupted, and then put them around it. It's hard to explain. Anyway, you gotta uncorrupt them, and then you could use it. And I like this game because this game, not only this is the first time that Pokemon actually started mixing a bunch of different Pokemons from like basically all regions, and it was really cool because you could have brought the Pokemons from that game to your Game Boy or Game Boy to this game, even Emerald Pokemon. I thought that was so freaking cool. Well, as for the starters, when you start this game doesn't follow the traditional sense of you choose a starter. Instead of making you choose what starter you want, they kind of just hang you on Eevee. And I find this really cool because when an Eevee, you basically at the time you had different options. You could have gone Aspherion, Umbreon, Vaporeon, Jolteon, Flareon. So it's not like you had to like choose one. You could have just like, I mean, yes, you had to choose one, but it felt like more freedom started with Eevee. I think Game Freak should do these more often. I thought this was such a good idea. Instead of having like three starter and having to pick, just give you an Eevee and you could choose whatever you want. I found this really cool. So you got to go around pretty much um stealing these Pokemons with these machines that the scientists actually developed to the previous trainer, but he wasn't a successor. He wasn't able to go all the way through, and it's up to you to actually stop them and find. Now, I think that Game Freak did really well for this job, and with the upcoming release of Z-A, I hope that Game Freak could actually look back at this game and see things and risks that they took. I don't know. I don't think this game really took off that much because it was on the GameCube. And a lot of people, I don't know, a lot of people I know never even had a GameCube. I don't know why. GameCube was a great console. But yeah, a lot of people kind of slept on it, and a lot of the things that it does in this game are things that I wish Game Freak would bring back or like experiment with. Because this was back then when they're actually willing to take risks. But I could imagine that the game didn't sell as well as they wanted, so they stopped and kept it safe. But I don't know, because they've been taking a lot of risks, and a lot of the risks they've taken lately, I really don't like them, especially after Pokemon Go. Let's go Pikachu. Ah, should have known it was Go when it had to. Ah, I hate that game. Anyways, so yeah, you can see how much I love this game. I just wish Game Freak would do this again. Not only that, like the atmosphere was so great, and there was such a diversity of Pokemons, which they're been doing that a little bit, like mixing Pokemons from different regions. So you could actually see that they actually took some inspirations from Gale of Darkness, and that the players that did play this game ended up enjoying that. But I just wish that more I'm just want this to be more often, because like the environments were even great. There was a mix of environments, so you could get like so many types of environment. You if you wanted to use a fire type Pokemon, there was just one fire type Pokemon. You could get Magmar. You could get there was just so much diversity and options. Usually most Pokemon games, when you play, there's usually like two or three two good fire types. And here is like there's so many options you can mix and match. You even get access to Salamander, Flygon, Dragonite. Like, what? Like, I love that about the game. Anyway, that's all I have to say. I just wish Game Freak did this, and I hope with this outcoming, they actually learn. They don't do the past mistake that they keep repeating. As always, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And until next time, as always, stay spooky, stay weird. Bye.
Dim, dam, dadilam, vacarme s'en va dans l'oubli éternam. Et Gustave, dom guardiam, dilim, dididididam, lutes sera dodilom, seram. Dim, dim, da da da, dim, dim, da da da, dim, da di dam. Dim dim da 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 dim dim da 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 dim